Hi there. On behalf of Astro Matrix, welcome. I'm Marcel, and I'm here to present to you the Mars in Aries transit that actually started on the 28th of June, but has been going for some time and will be going for 6 months until the 7th of January. And it's quite a big transit, so I'd like to discuss it in more detail. So we will be exploring themes around power and energy, drive, assertion and independence. And then we're going to discuss the Mars in retrograde transit a little bit, as well as all the aspects that will be happening during the Mars in Aries transit. And then we're going to do a tarot reading. I've got all the cards shuffled and laid out here, so please stay tuned. Thank you. Okay, hi there. Welcome. So as I mentioned, we have now got Mars in Aries, and it's in its ruling sign, so it's double fire, it's super strong. And it moved into Aries on the 28th of June, and before that it was in Pisces. So if you do remember, it really felt like wading through water. It was quite tiring actually and exhausting having Mars in Pisces. So it's so much happier in Aries, which is where it belongs. And it's a very assertive, powerful, forceful, warrior-like energy, like an Amazonian goddess. And the benefits of this is that it allows us to take action and to do the things that we've been wanting to do or meaning to do. Now, the benefits of this, as I mentioned, are the ability to take action, to drive forward. You've got a lot more power. The downside of this is that we can become too aggressive if triggered by certain situations. We can lose interest quite quickly. So one of the qualities of the Aries is, like the warrior, the first to drive in, to dive in, but the energy is not very long lasting. It is a cardinal sign, so very good at getting things started. Not always so good with following them through. So just be aware of that. You know, for those of you with a lot of fire in your chart already, it's really, really important that you find healthy outlets to exert this energy so that it doesn't come out aggressively or too erratic. So for instance, really being aware of how much caffeine it is that you're taking, and, you know, having some sort of exercise routine or yoga or meditation to help burn off some of that energy. That is for those that have lots of fire. So it's a really powerful time to get things done. There are some very strong transits that are coming up that I want to mention, especially Mars and Saturn and Mars and Pluto. But before I talk about that, let's just go into the retrograde a little bit more. So the retrograde starts on the 10th of September until the 24th of November. And it's every 2 years. And every 2 years, Mars and Venus go through a retrograde, but it's only every 30 years that it retrogrades through Aries. So it's quite special, and you can actually look back to August 1988 to find out if you can remember what was happening in your life back then, because that was the last time Mars went retrograde through Aries. So the Mars retrograde is like, it's called a full Mars, and it's when it's really, really close to the Earth, and it's in opposition to the Sun, so it's a little bit like a full moon. And it has the adverse effect, so we'll feel a slowing down, we'll feel a resistance to our traction, we'll feel our ability to assert ourselves or to take action or to have drive or to feel direction might be under review. And it's simply the planet or the experience is just asking for really reflecting on, where am I going, what am I doing, why am I doing it, and is it right for me? And really getting clear with where it is that we're driving ourselves towards. Is it what is the most powerful for us, and are we on the right path with it? So there is a shadow period during this retrograde, and it's from 15 degrees of Aries all the way through till 28 degrees. Now, the reason why Mars is in Aries for 6 months, which is a very long time, is because of this retrograde. So Mars actually goes all the way through Aries right until the 28th of Aries, And then the retrograde starts, and it goes all the way back to the 16-degree mark. So if you have any cardinal signs, which is Aries, Libra, Cancer, and Capricorn, if you have any of these somewhere between 15 to 28 degrees in your chart, this area will be affected. It will be especially affected because it's in a square to Pluto and Jupiter and Saturn at different times. At one point there is a Pluto-Saturn conjunction that's happening again, and this will be in a square with Aries, which is also in a square with Mars, which is also at that point going to be in a conjunction with Aries. So Aries is a planet that is very similar to Uranus. It's very warrior-like, it's very radical, it really wants to shake things up, and it means business. So having Mars and Aries together in a square to Saturn and Pluto, it's really challenging our beliefs around structure and control, the top-down powers that that are operating on the planet right now. It's really challenging this dynamic on a global perspective, as well as internally. Where is it that you repress aspects of yourself? Where is it that you are not in full control of your life, operating from your full power? Where is it that you allow yourself to be taken advantage of? So it's useful to understand the houses that this is operating in. So wherever it is that you have Mars and Aries moving through, whichever house it is, as well as your Capricorn, Saturn, and Pluto conjunction, because that'll be a square. And it'll give you a sense of these two opposite, or these two contrary energies that are not speaking the same language. And you'll get a sense, depending on what those houses are, of what the dynamics are that you're exploring. Now, there will be one period where, and it's from the 15th of September all the way through to the 7th of October, we have Mars going into a square with Saturn. So the retrograde starts on the 10th of September, and then Mars squaring Saturn starts coming in from around the 15th, and that carries on for 6 weeks. So this is like double heavy energy. You may find that lockdown intensifies then, and we're restricted from movement. This is a possibility. But you will also, and it will help to know what house this is happening in, you will realize that area is going to be affected during this period with restriction and contraction and a real slowing down and just an inability to move forward. So it's really important not to fight, to preserve your energy during that period, and to allow more of a reflection. So it's getting wise about where to drive forward, but where to, take a step back. And that's why it's really, really important to be aware of this, so that you can get things done now, from now until that time. Really capitalize on this Mars in Aries to drive the ship forward until that retrograde starts, and that Mars in a square to Saturn, which is going to be a heavy repressive energy. So I just want to point out some of the transits that are happening. On the 31st to the 10th of August, we have Mars squaring Jupiter, this 31st of July. The 7th of August to the 19th of August, we have Mars in a square with Pluto. So this is combustible. Pluto is all about power struggles, and Mars is about assertion. It's the planet of war. It's a warlike energy. It's all about assertion. So there can be a tension, and the challenge here is to really become aware of how it is that you assert yourself. Can you assert yourself in such a way that things do not blow up and you regret? Because during that period, your ability to control yourself it's challenged, because it's up against Pluto, so it's much more combustible. And so it's just challenging us to learn to breathe and to reflect and think things through before impulsively reacting out, because Aries can be very impulsive. Then on the 16th of August to the 5th of September, which will be starting, just over 10 days' time, we do have a Mars squaring Saturn. And then on the 2nd of October to the 17th of October, again, we have Mars squaring Pluto. We then have another Mars squaring Jupiter. So with Mars in a square to Jupiter, Jupiter can exaggerate the Mars effect. So you can feel much more powerful and larger than what you actually, than the amount of energy that you have. So it's really important, again, to conserve your energy and not overdo it, not burn it out, not drink too much coffee and get so wired that you end up combusting. And then, of course, the 10th of September is the Mars retrograde. It stations retrograde on the 10th of September. And then the 15th of September, we have the Mars squaring Saturn. And then the 24th of November, Mars stations direct. And that's when we start moving forward again. So, what I've done is I've laid out the tarot cards over here so that we can ask some questions around what it is that we as the collective are needing to explore. I've shuffled the cards on behalf of the collective. So this spread is a Mars and Aries spread for all of us. So I've shuffled the cards, they're ready to go. I'm going to ask the question, pull the cards, and then I'll explain to you what's going on. So the first question is, and this is for the collective, for Mars and Aries, where am I needing more power? Okay. Next question, where am I needing to assert myself more? Okay. What requires more direction in my life? Justice card. Where am I out of balance with too much masculine energy? Okay. And then what does Mars and Aries want from me? All right. Interesting. All right. So for the first question, the question is, where am I needing more power? And we have the Seven of Pentacles. And the Seven of Pentacles is a card of reviewing where it is that you have been and how it is, based on that review, that you will be choosing to move forward. So it's really reflecting on everything that has happened up until now in order to make wise choices with moving forward. And this takes power. It gives power because it allows us to be more conscious and aware of what we've done, to become accountable for it, and to make wiser decisions with moving forward, so that we can assert ourselves better and we have a general better awareness of who it is that we are. So in relation to the Aries, Mars and Aries quality, getting clearer on where it is that you've come and making clearer decisions moving forward brings power. All right, so the next question is, where am I needing to assert myself more? And I've got the Queen of Pentacles. And so the Queen of Pentacles, it's in the community. Queens are generally around community and more sort of group social dynamics, and it's very much to do with groundedness and connected to the earth, financial independence. It's an earth sign, so it's very connected to the body and sensuality and pleasure, and she's very content. She's very connected to her home, so perhaps needing to assert yourself more can be any of those areas. So in the home, around your sensuality, around grounding yourself, how it is that you can assert yourself through becoming more grounded, becoming deeper connected to your sensuality, becoming connected to the earth, your home. Instead of moving from the mind and the head, asserting yourself from the body, from a deeper place, from grounding. And it's like, this is what I want, as opposed to this is what I want. It's a far deeper, clearer place that we can assert from, because when we're connected to the body, we have time to connect to what the real feelings are and expressing from that as opposed to intellectually from the mind. What requires more direction in my life? We've got the Justice card. Okay, so more direction in my life. And the Justice is about cause and effect. So, direction, wherever it is that you are directionless, will create directionless. So if you're wanting more direction in your life, it's starting to get clear on where it is that you're needing direction and putting that into play. Because for every action, there's a reaction, there's a response. So starting to take charge with directing your life in order to find direction. So starting to get clear on what it is and where it is that you're needing direction. All right, where am I out of balance with too much masculine energy? So we've got the Page of Pentacles here, and Page of Pentacles is, he's not a king. He's the youngest out of all the Pentacle signs, the court cards, and he's more of a student, and he's more innocent, I guess, and childish when it comes to money and spending and abundance. I guess he would take it for granted more. He is not as frugal. He is not as consistently routine-like and operating with the long haul, really following through. So in a way, he's more impulsive with regards to money and how it is that he operates in the business realm. So I'd say, where am I out of balance with too much masculine energy? For me, this is around the immature masculine. It's not the mature masculine who's learned accountability and has learned that he isn't God. The immature masculine is more impulsive and less mature when it comes to managing his resources. So that is my explanation for the Page of Pentacles and being out of balance with too much masculine energy, because it's talking about not being grounded enough. So I think, once again, the masculine energy can be a quality from the mind, or perhaps of the body, where there's too much testosterone. So it's also around finding balance. So then the last question is, what does Mars in Aries want from me? And I've got the Empress card. And the Empress card is, it's interesting because I don't have any fire signs in the spread. I've just got Pentacles, really, and then two major arcana cards, the Empress and the Justice. And the rest is all around money. So I think for us, while Mars in Aries is about fire, it's a fire sign, it's driving us to bring stability into our lives and to make more grounded decisions and to operate from a more grounded place where we're, managing our resources better. The thing with not managing our resources is that we have something like consumerism, and it's one of the biggest problems on the planet right now, consumerism. And I think that's what this Page of Pentacles is as well, especially with regards to the excess of masculine energy. It's like more, let's spend. I can just buy that. And so it's becoming more discerning with what is important. And so, yes, I think what Mars in Aries wants from us is to come back to a place of deep inner contentment and security. So to feel safe within ourselves, to get to a place where we're clear on where we're going, we're independent, we can assert ourselves in healthy ways because we know who we are and we have the power to defend ourselves in a healthy way. And as a result of this, we are content and connected to our sensuality and pleasure. Now, I should also just mention that the Empress does also reflect sexuality and sensuality. And Mars, which is a masculine sign, it's also related to sex. It's related to the sexuality. It's related to yang, the yang energy, the sexual energy. So yeah, I think Mars is wanting us to connect to our pleasure and to connect to our passion and to feel safe in our bodies and to feel safe in our world and content. Yeah, that was a nice spread. I like that. All right, well, again, if you enjoyed this, please do like and subscribe. I am doing another retrograde, Mars in Aries retrograde, because it's a really big theme actually. So I will be doing a second video over the next 2 weeks. If you are interested, please subscribe to our channel and ring the bell. This way you'll get notified of when it happens. And regardless, just please support us by liking and subscribing and leaving your comments. We always love to hear what you have to say. So thank you for watching, and please keep your eyes open for more of our videos. Bye for now.